Good morning, first grade. Today in math, we are going to be taking a look at money. We are going to be taking a look specifically at counting dimes and counting pennies. So as you can see here, I have dimes and pennies sitting in front of me. Now, what I want you to take a look at, I want you to first take a look at these dimes. I'm going to try to shadow them a little bit for you so you can see them a little bit easier. Okay, hopefully you're noticing that we have a heads and we have a tails. Okay, we have a top and we have a bottom, if you want to call it that. The top of the dime has the face of a president on it, and the back of the dime says one dime, says United States of America, and it has some fire on it. Okay, hopefully you can see that. If you have dimes and pennies at home, you could also grab those out for yourself to take a look at. Okay? And then you have the penny. The penny has President Lincoln's face on it on the front side. And on the back side, it says United States of America. It says 1 cent. That's how much it's worth. 1 cent. And it has the monument on it on the back side. Okay, so you have a heads and a tails of both that you have seen. And there's something important that we need to know. We need to know that a dime is worth 10 cents. So when we're counting dimes, we're counting by tens. And pennies are worth 1 cent. Dime is worth 10 cents. A penny is worth 1 cent. So I'm going to go ahead and write that on my board for you. Dime is equal to 10 cents. Penny is equal to 1 cent. Now, each dime, if it's worth 10 cents and a penny is worth 1, each dime then, first grade, is going to be the same thing as having ten pennies. So 10 pennies is going to be the exact same thing as one of these. The only thing different is it only took one silver little dime to equal the same amount as these 10 pennies. Okay? When we count dimes, we're counting by tens. When we are counting pennies, we're counting by ones. So let's take a look at a couple of problems. How much money do I have right here? Well, I see all dimes here. And each dime we said is worth 10 cents. So I'm going to count by tens until I've counted all my money. 10, 20, 30, 40. So 4 dimes equals 40 cents. You'll notice I put a 40 and then I put the cent sign. The cent sign is just a C with a vertical line going through it. This is not a cent sign. Okay? Cent sign is the C with the vertical line going right through it. What about this? How many dimes do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And each of them is worth 10 cents. Now I'm going to show you another way that you can show exactly what you've been counting. We're going to count by tens, aren't we? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. There you can see exactly what you've done. So 6 dimes is equal to 60 cents. What about if I have this, though? What if I have dimes and pennies? What am I going to do then? Well, something really important to remember is that I'm always going to count my largest amount of money first. Dimes are worth more than pennies, so I'm always going to count my dimes first before my pennies. I like to go ahead and put them first so that I don't forget about it. And sometimes I even put a line in between so that I remember that I have to stop and switch what I'm counting. Dimes are worth 10 cents and pennies are worth 1 cent. So we have to count 10, 20. Now I'm starting at 20. If I was starting at 20 just like I'm doing my daily count and I'm counting by ones, I'd say 20, 21. That's the same thing here. So 2 dimes and 1 penny is worth 21 cents. What do I have now? I'm going to put a box around it to help me. Okay, I'm going to even separate between my dimes and my pennies because I don't want to get confused. I'm going to remember that my dimes are worth 10 cents and my pennies are worth 1 cent. And now I need to count. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now I have to count by ones. 51, 52, 53, 54. So that is worth 54 cents. Okay? You can see 54 cents at the bottom here. Okay, now, what if I have 36 cents? I have 36 cents, and I want to use as many dimes as I can to make 36 cents. Well, I have to start with dimes, don't I? I'm going to use as many dimes as I can, and then I'm going to add pennies. So, 10, 20, 30. Can I go any farther with dimes? No, if I add one more, I'm going to be at 40, and I can't be at 40. That gives me too much money. I want 36. So I'm at 30. Now I need to add pennies. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. So how many dimes did I use to make 36 cents? 3. So I just learned that 3 dimes plus how many pennies? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 dimes plus 6 pennies equals 36 cents. What about if I have 14 cents? 14 cents. How many dimes do you think I'm going to need for 14 cents? Well, that's 10. Can I go any more? If I go another dime, that's going to make it 20. Oh, that's too many, isn't it? I have to stop at 10. I have to stop at 1 dime, not to count with pennies. 11, 12, 13, 14. And you're probably saying, stop, Mrs. Friedrichs. Right. You're exactly right. How many dimes did I use? 1 dime. Plus, how many pennies did I use? 4 pennies. Equals how much money? 14 cents. Good. Let's do one more. You guys are doing a great job. What about 67 cents? How many dimes do you think I'm going to need for 67 cents? Well, remember I have to count by tens first, right? I have to get as close as I can without going over. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Ooh, let's see. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, how many dimes did I use to get to 60? I used 6 dimes. I can't go anymore. If I use another dime, I'll be at 70 cents, and that's too much. Now I need to count by ones. 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67. So, how many dimes and how many pennies did I need to get to 67 cents? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dimes. 6 dimes and how many pennies? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 6 dimes and 7 pennies equals 67 cents. We're going to be starting to do a little more work with dimes and pennies in the morning when we're working with our morning meeting. So stay tuned for that. If you had money that you borrowed from your house, please make sure that that does get back. You want to make sure that you give it back to whomever you borrowed it from. And it's going to be time to grab out your guided class practice 28. Hopefully by now you have out your guided class practice sitting in front of you, 28 side A. Make sure that your name gets on your paper, and our date today is October 14th, 2020. October 14th, 2020. Make sure that you have that capital O for October. Now, today we have to read our problem for number 1, and we need to find out what we need to do with it, if we're going to add or if we're going to subtract. So let's take a look. There were 10 apples in a basket. Seth ate 3 apples. How many apples are in the basket now? Draw a picture and write a number sentence for the story and write the answer with a label. So, there were 10 apples in the basket, but Seth ate 3 apples. How many are in the basket now? Did we add apples or get rid of apples? Right, we got rid of apples. So we have to start by drawing 10 apples. It does not have to be anything fancy. Just 10 circles will do. Make sure that they're spread out though, so that you can cross them out if you need to. He ate 3 apples. If he ate 3 apples, it means we have to get rid of 3. We always start on the right-hand side, and we cross them off from the right to the left. We need 3 apples crossed off. How many apples are in the basket now? Let's make our number sentence. How many did we start with? 10. 10 apples. Apples is right here. Mrs. Friedrichs, I don't know how to spell it. It's right here. And it's right here. And it's right here. Okay, you have lots of chances to find the word apples. We started with 10 apples, and we had to get rid of 3. So we have to do a minus sign. Minus 3 apples equal sign. How many are left? How many did we not cross off? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to say 7 apples. What's my answer? 7 apples. It's not 7 baskets. It's not 10 baskets minus 3 baskets. It's apples we're talking about. Asks how many apples are in that basket now. 10 apples minus 3 apples equals 7 apples. Your answer has to be 7 apples. You need to have your labels. It's very, very important. Number 2. Which number on the thermometer is the temperature closest to? Well, I can see where it's shaded, and it looks like it's between 40 and 50. What is it closer to? Is it closer to 40 or to 50? Right, it's closer to 40. So you're going to write 40, and it already has the degrees Fahrenheit for you. Number 3 says, how much money is this? Well, I can see that I have dimes and pennies. And how do I know that? Remember, the dimes are a little bit smaller. You can see the president's head is different. The dimes we said are worth 10 cents. And how much is the penny worth? 1 cent. And remember, you can put a line through that if that helps you to remember to stop your brain from counting by tens and moving on to ones. So now we need to count. 10, 20, stop. Now I need to count by ones, starting at 20. And what comes after 20? 21. So how much money is that? 21 cents. Number the clock face. 12, 6, 3, 9. And now finish it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And now I need to show half past 10. Remember, half past means that my minute hand is going to go straight down to the 6, halfway past the hour. And it's half past 10. So here's my 10. I have to go halfway past the 10. So it's in between the 10 and the 11. And that says 10:30. That's what half past 10 is. 10:30. Number 5. We need to circle all the odd numbers. Remember, our odd numbers are going to end in 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Circle all the odd numbers. So 15 ends in a 5. Is that an odd number? Yes, it is. 4, is that odd? Nope. 9. Yes. 18 ends in an 8. Is 8 odd or even? Even. Leave it. 5. 6. Nope. 3. 1, 3, 5. 8. Nope. 8 is even. 11 ends in a 1. That also is odd. Nice work. The back side of this is your responsibility, name and date. Capital O for October. October 14th, 2020. Make sure that you read the story problem carefully. Check your thermometer. Where is it closer? Check your money. Draw a line in between if you need to. Write how much it's worth above it if that helps you. Number your clock face. Show half past 5 o'clock. Circle the even numbers at the bottom. When you are done with this sheet, first grade, please go ahead and put this in your Wednesday folder.